Welcome back to another episode of Raspberry Lemonade. We have another amazing guest here. As always, we try to bring pretty good and amazing guests. Welcome to the show, Ivan.
What's up, my SM peeps? How are you guys? My name is Ivan Bojorquez. I say SMP because it's Scalp Micropigmentation, and the P is for peeps, you know? So my people, right?
There you go. I like that, man. I appreciate you coming on the show.
No, thank you for having me.
No.
Appreciate you guys.
I'm yet to have someone, in your industry.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm super curious,
Uh-huh.
what all that involves, and we'll get into it.
Mm-hmm.
But first, tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
So my business, okay, so the way I got into this, it's a funny story, okay? So it was in COVID 2020 when I got into this. And me and my significant other, we separated. And so it's the worst time to get single, by the way, because everything's closed.
Yeah.
And so my buddy, I have a buddy that lives in the peninsula of Newport. Well, let me tell you, as the whole world was shut down except Orange County. That's a little country in a country, as you guys know. So they say, you ain't shutting us down. We're going to bring the party outside, right? And that's like a beer garden. So my friends picked me up, on their lifter truck, and we're riding down there. And one of my friends takes his hat off, and I seen the most sharpest hairline, right? For the viewers, I'm sorry. I do scalp micropigmentation. It's a tattoo that mimics a hair follicle that camouflages hair loss. So I do two procedures. One of them is for thinning spots. I put the pigmentation. That camouflages the hair loss, which gives it a fuller look. The other one is for a fresh shaved look, where I get rid of that undesirable horseshoe, and I give you the hairline of your desire.
Wow.
So anyway, so this guy takes off his hat, right? And I see the most sharpest hairline. And I go, did you plug it? How did you do that? He goes, it's a tattoo. I go, get out of here, right? So, sometimes when you shave your head,
Yeah.
you can still see the bald spot from the top. While this procedure covers that, and it looks all nice and even. And so anyhow, we're going down there. He tells me about it. And so, that significant other?
Yeah.
We came back together.
Okay.
I already had 2 daughters, so we added to the addition. We got married in Hawaii, right?
Wow.
No stress. No guests, no stress, right? Because you know how it is when you're planning a party and this and that. So we had 2 more kids. But my daughter was born with a gene mutation. These patients can't walk, don't talk. She's fed through a G-tube. So, mind you, no daycare could take care of her. So my wife had to quit her job, get professionally trained to take care of my daughter. And that's when I kicked this dream off into gear to pull the extra income. And as I know, with new businesses, or even if you're starting like a brand new journey, there's going to be challenges.
All the time.
Right? Yeah. So I was preparing my tools to combat those negative thoughts when they kicked in. So I gave my daughter a promise I couldn't quit for the next 3 years. And of course, it was a verbal contract to myself not to quit.
Yeah. So you had that extra motivation.
Yeah, I think everybody needs a drive.
Absolutely.
A drive. And in this business, if you stay in faith, because God is great. If you stay in faith, God will align the right people along your path. And it elevated me so quick. I met the pioneers. Right now, I have Joe.
As in the pioneers of that industry.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. I have, I'll shout out to Joe from San Francisco, SMP. He wants to sponsor me. And then Trish from Ink Misters from the city of Alhambra. Go get your scar camouflage out there. She wants to recruit me to her team. So there's big things that are coming along.
Yeah.
And I'm just thankful for everybody because everybody's so great, man.
That's amazing, man.
So supportive.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about kind of like the the early days of that then? Because you've been at this for a couple of years now then, right?
Yeah, it's going on my second year. And so I did, I started from home. Then I started working behind a barbershop. Then I linked up with my friend Rob. He has a solar salon, right? And then I opened my own studio. And now I'm thinking bigger things now. I started the mentorship, so I do that now too for new SMP artists that are still feeling not confident with the procedure, doing the procedure, the depth, the needle sizes, the color, because there's 32 colors in the color pigment chart, and
Get it just right.
sometimes the real questions come out when they get out there in the field. So that's why I'm here for, to help them and guide them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's growing pretty fast. Thank the Lord.
That's
Thank
great,
the Lord. Yeah, it's growing pretty fast in a short time. I feel.
Yeah, 2 years is pretty short. I'd
Yeah,
say.
right.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. Congratulations to
Thank you,
for
Levi.
that.
Thank you.
And a little more about your business.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have like a certain brand name that you go by already?
Yes.
or-
So my I was thinking about names, right? And I was like, man, what should I name this? And I thought about, so I always loved the barbershop industry. I always loved tattoos.
What about it?
I don't know. I just I cut people's hair, right? I cut my own hair. So if you mix the two together, right? What do you got? Scalp micropigmentation, right?
Makes sense.
It's ink
Makes sense.
and a barber, and
Yeah.
I always love like the urban, or even the whatever style is, like hip hop, the how they have their barbershops hooked up. I always love that culture. It's a culture within itself.
Yeah.
They have these big galas, and I just love everything about it. I think, as long as you're doing something positive and pushing it forward, that's all that matters.
Yeah. So what name did you end up landing on?
Oh yes, so it was called InkedUp Scalps.
There you go.
So it's on my Instagram is InkedUp_Scalps. So I didn't, did I ask them for permission to? Well, okay. Well, anyway, I won't say no names. So remember that. Remember
About to
that.
get in trouble here today, man.
So I thought you were gonna ask me something that stood out. So remember that guy that I learned the procedure from? Mm-hmm. Wow, he got married too.
Okay.
Right, we were single, and then everybody got married at the same time. I guess it sounds like. So he got married. He had the scalp micropigmentation done. Wow, that artist that did his ended up passing away. Right, rest his soul. So he ended up going to a new artist in the city of. I'm not gonna say the city either. Yeah, but it's right here down the street, and
We'll just say Lakewood.
No,
Just for the sake of the story.
Right? It starts with a G and it ends with Del.
Oh,
right? Anyhow, and so he went to her.
Uh-huh.
Wow, dude, his head turned blue. Wow, he wanted to darken it up to get married.
Yeah.
He ended up getting married, with,
No way.
Yes, and
He was looking like Big Fat Liar.
he ended up getting married. So he came to me
gosh,
to fix it. And I did a fantastic job, and it's on my Instagram. So go check it out so you guys can see the before and afters. But I was honored that I learned this procedure from him, and I ended up helping him.
Wow.
So that's like my great accomplishment of this story.
Yeah.
I was so happy that I was able to help him. And I help also like ladies that are thinning, because remember, with females, with guys, they just shave it. But with females, their hair is their power. They're like Hercules,
Right.
And it's sad when they're thinning and stuff like that. So I feel so excited before they even get up from the chair to look at themselves. And I'm like, when they see that big old smile, then that's what makes me happy.
You did a good job.
Oh, yes. Yeah, and especially when they start referring you. Oh, I know some. Oh, I also have a referral system in place. So whoever you refer, This is 2024, okay? Whoever you refer, I'll give you $250.
Let's go. I got some people in mind already.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. You could be my sales rep.
There you go.
Yeah, I have you show me love, I show love too.
Yeah,
Honestly, this is a hobby that pays.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. I feel more excited than you are. And of course, in the first, because it takes 3 sessions, just because it's a tattoo, so it can migrate. So you go very precautious, right? And you as a client, they trust the process because they already see my before and afters. So you do it in 3 sessions, and each session you add density.
Oh, okay.
And then it just gives it that fuller look. And it just looks like real hair.
Yeah.
It looks amazing. And of course, it's a 2D look. It's not a 3D look because you're not adding any volume, right?
Right.
So.
But still, I mean, I've seen, actually, funny enough, now that I'm thinking about it, I do know someone else in the space who just started about a year ago. Maybe I could connect you guys.
Yes. Yes.
But I've seen some of his work too. And it's a huge difference, like, especially in the pictures. It's like, wow. The difference that it makes.
It's a brand new industry.
Yeah.
So the pioneers have been around, like, for example, the average artist has been around anywhere from 4 to 7 years. That's to tell you, like, to show you that it's so brand new. So not a lot of people know about this procedure. And that's the reason why I'm here, to push the industry forward. Just to
get the word out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, we could help you.
Yeah.
We could definitely help you. This is a great invention. I'm going to find out who did it, who started it, right?
Yeah, I got to find out.
Yeah, but I don't know who started it, but we perfected it.
There you go. I like that. Very confident in your work, man. I like that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, now I am.
Yeah,
now I am.
course.
And in everything, like I said, any mistakes or let's say somebody says something negative, it's going to affect you. Because you're barely starting out, and it could mess up your confidence.
Yeah.
So that's why, when it's very important to search deep for those tools, that drive, like to find a drive, find something to motivate you, to keep you motivated. It could be your family. I have always do the hashtag family motivated because that's what drives me, So don't get discouraged. Whoever's out there trying to start something, it could even be like a weight loss journey. Dude, you guys could do it. You know, it's just consistency. Just show up every day and you're gonna do great.
Imperfect action too.
Yes.
Yes. You can't expect yourself to be what you envision yourself to be. In that moment, because you haven't even started, right? But as you go on, you become this person, right?
Yeah.
You start to embody the traits that this ideal person, which is yourself in the future, actually does.
Yeah.
And it's a process, like anything, right? It's not going to be just like that, snap of the fingers.
It's never going to be like that. It's going to... Sometimes you get lucky, man. There's a lot of great people out there that give you a lending hand.
Yeah.
And
that's not always the case, though, right? And so
I don't know, man. I think maybe I'm just lucky. I don't know, man. Everybody's very nice to me. Yeah. Everybody's so cool.
I think I know why, though.
Why?
Because they see you putting in work towards something. Yeah. That's maybe, something that I've experienced too.
Yeah, maybe just, being normal. You know how a lot of people fake the funk?
What's normal though, bro? Like
I'll tell you this. Normal is this.
Okay.
Being real. Like having a heart-to-heart conversation. Instead of like, I don't know, I don't want to give stupid examples, but like trying to dress up your words and in high vocab.
I see.
It's better to have a heartfelt conversation than anything else.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Just being you, and if you don't know something, say, hey, I don't know, and I'll find out.
There you go.
Because we have an iPhone, right?
Yeah, and
it's smarter than us
now,
Hello. And so, yeah, I think it's better. Yeah. That I think that's what I mean by normal. Just be yourself and just have a heartfelt conversation and let them listen to your heart.
Yeah, the right people will start coming into your life.
Yeah, I think so, man. I think, I don't know. Let's see what this year holds for me. There's a lot of upcoming changes for me. So exciting changes. As a matter of fact, yeah. So I don't want to say just yet, just in case I don't obtain them as fast as I
As you
want
think,
to,
yeah.
and I don't want to like sound like after I do something, then I say it.
Yeah.
Because then you know how everybody talks and and then they don't do anything. And you're like, wait a minute, you lose faith in them, you know. So I like to be I like the action be the noise.
There you
right?
go.
Right?
There you
And
go.
then sometimes you gotta protect God's blessings because somebody might say something and discourage you, and you will not even take the first step at it, right?
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. To an extent, you know, you gotta safeguard those visions and dreams that you have,
Mm-hmm.
and at the same time, though, I think it should be a balance, because if you don't share with people, even if it's not with everyone,
Mm-hmm.
then you'll never maybe find that mentor or that partner who's
Yeah.
actually going to help you get there.
Yeah,
right?
you gotta
So
watch
it's-
the source of your advice.
Exactly.
If you wouldn't trade places with this person, please don't get advice
Don't
from
listen
them.
to them. Yeah.
You know, watch the source of your advice. A lot of people, like even in relationships, they're so quick, you know, to jump and say their opinions, and sometimes they haven't done anything. So you gotta go to a couple that you admire and you want to be like.
Exactly. Let's move on, man.
Yeah.
Let's get into the more personal side of this
Mhm.
podcast. So let's get to know you
Mm-hmm.
as a person. Tell us, what was little Ivan like?
Little Ivan. My mom calls him Bunny.
Vani.
Yeah.
Little
So
Vani.
yeah, and my friends call me Toro. Don't ask me
Oh.
why. Don't ask me why. So
Maybe
so-
I'll ask you off camera.
There you go. It's not what you think, though. It's anyhow, who cares? So I was born here, right?
Yeah.
And then my dad never liked the United States. He never liked it here. Every vacation that he takes, he goes to Mexico. So we ended up moving over there. So I lived over there for 4 years. And I grew up with the pigs and the cows and the horses and riding horses. I even have a big old scar over here.
Ouch.
Because one of the horses tagged the barbed wire. Over there, they hang the clothes on the barbed wire. And we took the horse out to go work. And the head of the seat of the horse wrapped around it. And it just sliced me on the leg, right?
Wow.
So anyhow... so we lived over there for 4 years. Then we came back, and so to the States again. And
Where exactly? Did you say
where
again?
we came back to Boyle Heights.
Gotcha.
Boyle Heights, East LA, North East LA, and that's where I started my journey here, right?
That's where
And
it
so it's considered a rough area, but I had a great time.
That's awesome, man. Okay.
Boyle Heights, Lincoln Heights. Lincoln Heights. I moved from Boyle Heights when I was 16. We moved to Lincoln Heights, and so when they asked me, because then I moved back to Boyle Heights when I was in my early 20s. So now I just say Nela. Nela means Northeast LA, so that's where I grew up.
That is
at.
the first time I hear that, bro.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
You know what? It's funny because I started a clothing line a while back. And it's called Stay True. As a matter of fact, I should have brought you some gifts. But maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Yeah, for real.
Appreciate
And so Chad Bojorquez, he's a famous artist. My last name is Bojorquez. So he has a clothing line named Nela. And I was like, what? Is he related to me? Shout out to him. Yeah.
Have you gone in touch with them at all?
No, maybe one of the art festivals. Maybe I'll go
Yeah.
and introduce myself.
I mean, because then that last name, at least I haven't heard that one.
I know,
very,
I know.
Very common.
Some gentleman from up north. He hit me up on Instagram. He's like, "Hey, are you native? You know, because my family's from Arizona and I'm from this tribe and this and this and that." And I was like, "No, I'm not. But I mean, I am, but from Mexico,
Right.
You know,
Not
but
from this side of
not
the-
from this side of the man. I wish I'm getting that casino money, you know." Because these guys are rich, dude. You know,
Yeah,
right?
some of them are, yeah.
Yeah, and so, yeah, it's very uncommon. And now that I have social media, because I never had social media in my life, I had it only like for 5 months in 2017 to sell those T-shirts, and then now with this business. So I'm fairly new still,
Getting back into it. Yeah.
but I'm pretty comfortable.
That's good.
You know, just because of of everything that I've been learning through the mentorships that I have taken. So I took one last year. I'm taking one this year, and every year I'm gonna try to reinvest in myself to just grow. Okay, so to grow, because one of the books that I just read is called "Ego is the Enemy." Right?
Ooh,
have you heard?
it's on my reading list.
Okay,
Yeah.
by Ryan Holiday.
Yeah.
And so basically, let me get to the point with that is if you ain't learning, you ain't earning. So you got to stay a student of life, period. Just keep on growing, keep on growing. And that's what I want to do with these mentorships, just keep on learning and growing.
I like that. What was that phrase again? If you what?
If you ain't learning, you ain't earning.
Like that.
You like that?
Gotta continuous study, continuous learning, and because things move fast.
Yes.
And they change fast too.
Yes.
So you gotta kind of stay on top of the things. So I really, really, really like that, and I hope the audience can take that little nugget and run with it.
Yeah, the next book I'm gonna read is by Patrick Bet-David.
Next 5 moves?
No. Choose your enemies wisely.
Yeah.
I'm still in the middle of their podcast, which with Bradley. So I'm gonna finish it on the way home. And he basically says, find your drive. That is not what you think when he says choose your enemies wisely. Basically, choose something that is gonna motivate you.
Mm-hmm.
It could be somebody. He gave an example, like somebody insulted his father, and so he's like, you know what, you're gonna remember our last name, and so he ran with that.
Yeah.
And that was the
catalyst.
Yes. Yeah. And so with that, and now look at him now, right?
Right. Yeah. So I mean, absolutely, and I think it's super dope that you're bringing up these books and podcasts that people could listen to, because you can learn so much from other people's experiences. And I love talking to people like yourself that are into just, at the end of the day, becoming a better version of yourself.
There you go.
Because by becoming a better version of yourself, you're able to show up as a better version for your family, for your friends, for people that you care about.
Yeah, actually, my friend did a painting for me, and it's on my wall right now. It's called "Be the Best Version of Yourself," and we traded some work, right? He got a little freebie for me, also, and I love that phrase. I love that phrase. My daughter, I was like, I have a studio, and for my workplace, and I told my daughter Makaya, I go, hey, what should I put in this wall? Another mirror? And she goes, why don't you just put a painting? So she gave me that idea, and shouts out to Vienna and Makai and Everest and Ariel. Those are my babies right there, my motivation. So I love that you said be the best version of yourself, because that's my motto. I try to be the best in every way possible now. And so I always say this phrase, you got to stay on point spiritually, physically, and financially. You got to be on point in all three, because we got to last a long time. So we need our health, right?
Yeah.
And we want to live good, so we got to keep our pockets fat.
Right. Right.
And of course, with the Lord always staying forward to lead us, right?
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that, man. But going back to kind of like the original question, the reason I ask, like I like to get into the upbringing of my guests, because I think there's certain things that we have, innate as kids that we carry on into our adulthood.
You think so?
At least I've noticed that with myself.
Okay.
And so I'd like to challenge you to kind of think back a little bit. What's something that you had as a kid that you still have, and how has that impacted your business?
Okay, so where I grew up at, we would tend to separate ourselves, right? So
What do you mean by that?
For example, we'll see social groups.
Okay.
Now that you're rubbing elbows with high-end people, right? High-end people meaning like they're business owners, and you go to these mixers and stuff like that. So I would separate myself by saying, you know what, they don't know where I came from. They don't know what I've been through. Instead of looking at the similarities, hey, he's a father. He has a family he's working hard for. So instead of separating ourselves, we got to look at the similarities, because everybody's the same. Yeah. Everybody's the same.
We all
and
same basic needs and everything.
And thank the Lord, I've been to a couple countries, and every country that I visited is so beautiful. Every culture is beautiful. And you know what? Every family, when I say it's the same, it's the same. Like when they say, I used to go to Germany a lot, right? Because we're Mexican. Well, I'm Mexican.
Yeah, how dare you assume? I'm just kidding.
Right?
Yeah, we're also Mexican.
Let me check myself. And when I go to Mexico, they'll be like, over there in America. And then when you're over there in Germany, over there in America. See, it's the same. It's just beautiful. Everybody is good people out there. And I love every culture, respect every culture. And I think I can't just express this enough. The Indian culture is beautiful. The German culture is beautiful. Oktoberfest, right? We're in October. Who's going to go to Alpine, right? Who's going to go to Alpine Village? Oh, man, it's nice, man. And so that's what I would do when I was younger. I would do that. And, and then we were like party animals. We were not really like cared about a lot of things. We would care just about what are we gonna wear this weekend and where we're going. And I was from a car club, and then it turned into motorcycles, and then now I drive a Harley, right?
Nice.
And so it's just hobbies. And so my era, because I'm gonna be 44 this month.
Okay. Looking good, man.
Yeah. So you gotta remember, I told you gotta stay fit right? Thank you. Sorry, I was just kidding.
Pass the skincare routine, bro.
I'm gonna be like my friend. I know. What's my secret? No, but that's my friend Gil. He said that. So we used to just party, So that's how we grew up in the 90s. Just going to Rosarito. Partying over there, coming back and doing it all over again. And actually that's where I met my daughter's mom in Rosarito. Yeah. So don't go down there. You're gonna bring a chick back with the chick pregnant. Yeah. So what happens in Rosarito doesn't stay there. Okay. Watch yourself. But that's what we did. That's how we grew up, just partying animals. That's it, man. I still to this day I like to go out, but obviously, with kids, soccer games. I have a little American Idol kid that loves to sing, so she performs. Wow. And my other two are little babies, so we still got to see how's their personalities. Yeah. But yeah, man, every time I get invited to the family party, I'll be singing karaoke, dancing, because come on, you got to enjoy life, let loose, Absolutely. And so I like going out, but I restrict myself because I gotta handle business.
Of course,
I gotta take care of the kids. I gotta be home, so I don't go out without my wife. Yeah. I gotta, it's one of my rules. It's not fair to her. Oh, guys, night out. No, we don't do that. Gotcha. We stay home. We go out together, nice. Right?
Don't let my wife listen, bro. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, it's funny because I don't know. Maybe it's just a different stage now. Mm-hmm. Because when we first got married. Mm-hmm. And I think also because we got married in 2020, so everything was shut down.
Oh, good for you! You saved money.
We did, yeah. We'll get into the not so great parts maybe at another time.
Oh, I know.
But in one sense, I think it also accelerated our growth as a couple because you were kind of forced to be together, right? We couldn't go anywhere really, and so on that note, I guess I would consider it a good thing, and it ended up being a good thing. But once things started to open up again, I did miss, hanging out with my friends and stuff. Yeah. So I would have these quote unquote guy nights and things like that. And I always appreciate my wife being so understanding, like, yes, of course, like go have some fun, go off some steam. Yeah. But, I'm sure you can attest to this. Being in a marriage, like, of course, like this is your person. You gotta, not that you have to, but you should want to do these
Yeah.
things with your spouse.
So my friend Junior, my friend Junior, it was his birthday, so we went out to dinner.
Yeah.
And it was in September. His birthday's in September. And we went to Calaveras, the one in Pasadena. Grand opening, right? We opened it. And I felt great getting ready. They were going to pick me up. I'll see my boys because all my friends are my childhood friends. And we're like about 12 or 15 of us. So sometimes we get out together. I know. Since
that's a soccer team right there.
I know. And so we went to Calaveras. We drank and we chilled. And then I was ready to go home. And they're like, come on, let's go to 28 West over there in Alhambra because I live in Alhambra. And I was like, take me home, you know? And hey, come on. You know, it's all boys, you know? I'm like, man, this is just like back in the day. Why didn't you even come? And so they see me like slouching and just, you know, just chilling, you know?
Yeah.
And they're like, what's wrong, Ivan? Because I'm always hyper all the time. Right now, because I'm a little nervous, but I'm always hyper and stuff like that. And they're like, I'm like, man, take me home like a little kid. If not, I'm going to go home. Well, anyways, I felt so guilty that my wife is at home with the babies, you know?
Yeah.
It's more guilt,
but
if
like
anything.
coming from a good place.
Yeah. And so, you know, like I could do a late dinner, but if it's 11 o'clock, oh heck no, I gotta be home.
Yeah, I gotta be with
you
my
know
family.
Heck yeah. What the heck, you know? So
I get that.
so they're like, all right, let's close the bell, you know, and we left and they took me home. But yeah, I think it's more guilt, if anything, and I'm glad it happened that way. Because if they would have dropped me off right after Calaveras, then I would have been like itching to go out again. Hey, when are we going? Whose birthday's coming up? But I think it happened that way so I could know that feeling. And I don't go out.
It's like I have a responsibility to
and I love being at home. You know, you miss the kids and you know, one of them teaching them how to walk. My little boy, his name is Everest Maximus.
Wow.
So I know Bojorquez. He's gonna be a UFC fighter. Because I named him that because my daughter was born with a gene mutation. So to put it out there in the universe, you know, I wanted a strong name so you can come out strong. You know,
Everest.
So now he comes and he's scratching and he's big boy, tall, you know, so
he's ready to conquer
the world. I'm like, wow, check this boy out, man. It really worked. Nah, just kidding. But yeah, that's the reason behind his name. It has a meaning to it.
I really, really like
and then
that.
I say and so when my daughter Ariel, you know, my wife liked the Little Mermaid. So I go, that's why she doesn't walk, because she's a mermaid, duh. Right?
I like that you could poke fun at that.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, you know, we accepted it, what it is. Of course, we were heartbroken when we found out, but you accept it, and you got to be at your best to be able to help somebody. Right? Yeah. That's why I want to last a long time. That's what I mean by health. I don't drink like every weekend, you know, because I'm handling business and plus because of my health. But I'm not against it either. Like if you want some great champagne or at a family carne asada like me, I like mariscos.
So funny you should mention that. No,
yeah. Right?
Pulls out
I like mariscos. I'm not going to have a soda with mariscos, you know. I'm going to have a freaking beer, you know.
At least a Corona.
Exactly. And so when people say, oh, you drink, you know, dude, I drink a beer with the mariscos. I don't get all crazy every weekend. Yeah. You know, if once in a while, why the heck not? Bring it on.
There you go.
Right? But now that we're in this topic, like, oh man, why did I even say all that?
No, I think you gotta have balance, right? And
in life, you need balance.
To have it,
Even when you're preaching too much, like you become annoying. You know what I mean? Like, balance yourself out, dude. Like, I mean, I don't want to say too much.
There's a time and place. There's always a time and place.
There you go. So. There you go. Like, I have these friends sometimes, like, they're so, like, they need hobbies. Like, all they talk about is politics. You know what I mean? That they
learn to sew or something.
Yes,
like,
bro.
Do
like
something usable for society.
Like, man, like
not just have an opinion.
Yeah, all they do is talk about politics, and you're like, again today again. You're gonna do this right now.
It's 6 a.m, bro. Let me have my coffee first.
I know. Let the coffee brew, dude. Relax. And so yes, you need balance.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
With that said, let's balance out the show and go on to the sour story.
Mm-hmm.
What's been, since starting your business,
Mm-hmm.
right? What's been one of those not so great, not very ideal situations or challenges that you've come across?
Well, it has nothing to do. It's more, it has to do with the procedure, the learning process.
Okay.
So I, my first day practicing on somebody, not practicing, doing the procedure, it was my buddies, right? I ended up going too dark on them. Yeah.
Híjole.
And then just tuvo. That's it. That's all you get.
Like, sorry, bro, no
but
refunds. No, I'm just kidding.
No. Heck no. So that was, dude, I was like, hey, I'm glad it happened so I could learn. And it was my first day. Because I say my first day because it wasn't my first client. It was my second client. So I had two in the same day. And I love, so it was basically, it was supposed to be 3 mLs, 0.75, not 7.5. And I put a little bit of distilled water instead of putting 3 syringes. And so that's why it was so rich and dark. But luckily I caught that early and I learned from it.
Yeah.
I mean,
fortunately, it was your friend too, not like a stranger, right?
Yeah, because you with this industry, you want to build your portfolio. And mistakes do happen, but you don't want to do them on people, man.
Right.
Like especially your buddies that you're gonna see all the time. You know,
True.
You know, and so I have
you mess me up, bro.
Yeah, I have color correction,
Okay.
and this lady that wants to teach me that wants me to join her team. She wants to teach me how to do tattoo removal, scar camouflaging, and stuff like that. Also, so I'm like, yeah, I would love to add more services,
More
right?
tools to your arsenal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. I like that, and so yeah, let's see, why not? You know, whoever needs some tattoo removal,
There you go.
maybe I'll do some.
Yeah, that's it.
I think I'm gonna learn that this weekend, though. I think she wants to teach me this Sunday.
Oh, so
Yeah.
right around the corner then.
Mm-hmm.
So that was not so great. Obviously, messing up is never great.
Yeah.
What about the opposite of that? Since starting your business, what's gonna been one of those rewarding, sweet stories?
Besides my friend that I was able to help.
Yeah, because that was a really good one.
That was
I can
the
imagine.
best.
You know,
That was the best. And then I always like when I capture one of my clients seeing himself and laughing like, what? And I caught that on camera and I was able to post it. Of course, I asked for permission. I respect everybody's privacy. Like if you don't want to show your face,
yeah.
I could, edit it and
Put the black rectangle
no, not
over
really.
the eyes.
Like I just like edit it and I just bring I'll just show the top.
I see. Just the
and-
work, but not the actual.
Yes,
Yeah, I gotcha.
but I would love to show like how good they look.
Yeah.
These guys, bro, like they look so old and they could be so young with the horseshoe on the back. So when I give them their hairline, easily, they look about 15 years younger, man.
Wow.
And if they're look old, then they'll look at least their age now.
Yeah.
And if you're single and bilingual, you should hit me up so I can hook you up so you can get hooked up, right?
Hey.
Right? Because man, I mean, one life to live, one life, one chance. The future is now, bro.
That's
like, what
it.
are you waiting for, man? Divorce your hat.
And
Right?
like nowadays, yeah, there you go. Like nowadays, like there's so many different procedures that, perfection, you're never going to get there. No one, even like the most good looking people, I think they have their imperfections.
Their flaws, right?
Their flaws,
Mhm.
both physically and, personally, like
Oh, yeah.
internal.
Uh-huh.
But if there's at least something that you could do to help your case, a little bit,
You know what?
then why not do it?
Yeah, you know what? One of my buddies that he got it done, right? Because he's seen somebody else get it done, and he's like, you know what? When I never thought about getting it done, but now that I have it, I wouldn't go back to not having it. So it's not necessarily their confidence,
Yeah.
Some people does help them with their confidence. I think too much. Like, slow down, bro. You better calm down with
You're
all
still
that
the same
confidence.
person.
You better slow down. But I love it. If you're gonna feel good and I'm able to help you, why not? The option is here. If you want it, it's here.
Yeah.
Reach out. Free consultation, by the way. Before I used to do them over the phone. Now I like to do them in person.
I think it's better that way, no?
Well,
like,
yeah,
a better connection.
But after COVID, everybody does it over the phone and the pictures. I think in person, you could draw the hairlines. You could explain the procedures in each session. Hand them a handbook, so they could visualize how they're gonna look. The work speaks for itself. You know, it after the procedure is done, it lightens about 20-30%, so it blends in nicely with the existing hair.
There you go.
So is gives you that pigmentation. It's not like regular ink, like tattoo ink. It's not like regular ink. Ours is organic. It has no lead in it, so it looks very natural. Very natural. Also, with the regular tattoos, you bleed. On this procedure, you do not bleed. We only go into the epidermis, which is the very first layer of the skin. So there's no pain, real pain involved. Maybe some discomfort, but not real pain.
Yeah.
People like to compare it to plucking hairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I put, and a lot of the clients, when I do their horseshoe, their crown in the back, they fall asleep. They fall asleep. They're snoring.
Los arrulla.
Yes,
Relaxes
because
them.
I have two procedure. One of them is a bed, and the other one is kind of like a massage bed. So when I able to put them on the bed with the little circle, they fall asleep right there. I'm like, dude, you better not drool on my shoe, right? But it's very painless, very painless. I say from 1 to 10, maybe a 3. Everybody likes to compare it to a 3. Oh, yeah.
That's good.
And remember, the only suffering you're going to have is from too much confidence.
Hey.
Right?
That's a good tagline right there. All right, man. Second to the last question here. Take a second. Think about where your life's at right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to choose your current life soundtrack, what song would that be? One song.
Wow. And I'm bad with names with music. I always have to hum it. And my wife would be like, "Is this one?"
La
Right?
Chona. No.
La Chona. Let me see. Man, I don't know, man.
If you had to choose, though.
How about if I say a quote better? Be the best version of yourself. I like that one. Music. I do like music, of course. I'm bad with names with music, but I like to listen to a lot of podcasts.
Okay.
That's my thing. So I'm a Teamster first, right? So sometimes we take routes and you get tired of music, because it repeats itself.
I see.
So with the seniority that I have, I don't have to drive, but sometimes I choose to. So I could listen to a good podcast. So it depends. Well, how far am I going? Oh, that's pretty far. And with traffic, let's do it. Yeah, very proud to be a Teamster first. Just to mention something. In this business, it's so great, my business. And it's going so great that, people ask me, hey, are you going to leave your other job? And I say, heck no. I will have to be a billionaire first. Why? Because of my daughter. The Teamsters, I don't pay medical. So they take care of me.
Yeah.
It's just like the Canadians that don't pay medical over there, right? It's for free. So
Low
anyhow,
key, man, like I wanna experience another country for a bit. Not gonna lie. But yeah.
Yeah, and so getting to the medical, I never used it close to a decade, and now that my daughter was born, with the illness,
it came in very handy. I can imagine.
Bro, before I wouldn't even care about the medical, and 2 vials were $47,000. These 2 vials, 1 vial will last 2 weeks. So imagine that, that's what I mean. I will leave only if I was a billionaire.
Yeah,
man, they take care of me, man. Forever loyal, but But yeah, I love this. This is like a hobby that's making me mad money, you know? And I love helping people, and I love meeting people. I love just like, because they become your friends when they're on my table, on my procedure table. You're there for 3 hours, man. Like, they become your friends, your homeboys, you know? And
it's a very intimate, situation, and I'm sure they open up to you about things.
Yeah, and I love every part of it. They become your friends, and I'm just glad that the good Lord put me in this position to be able to help, because I never thought in a million years I was going to be changing people's lives. Literally changing people's lives. And I'm just thankful that I'm here, and I'm thankful that I'm in this podcast. I didn't, it's just like, how do you say it? It's just trickling in everything's landing in its place.
Like Tetris.
Yes, bro. Like, what the heck? Wow,
Yeah.
I'm just thankful for everything. I feel lucky, and I'm glad that so many great people are reaching out.
That's awesome, man. Mm-hmm. Last question of the show.
I better not be a song question.
No, it's not a song. We already moved past that. What's your favorite album? No, I'm just kidding. Where can people continue to follow your journey online? Okay. You kind of already mentioned it before.
Okay, so it's Ivan Bojorquez on Facebook. TikTok and IG is InkedUp _Scalps with the S in the end. And follow us and support us.
There you go.
And we're here to help. And remember, I have the referral system in place. 250 big ones. No questions asked.
Easiest $250 you'll ever make.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. Thank you so much for being on the show.
No, thank you, brother. Thank you for having me. And God bless.
Thank you. Everyone who tuned in, thank you for joining us on this awesome conversation we had. If you got any value from it at all, or maybe you're actually looking for some, a service like this, please consider subscribing to the show. And, we could bring more amazing guests like this from different industries, but all business owners, and we could all learn something from each other.
And let's support one another.
100%.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good one.